sure I don't actually need an introduction. You probably recognise me from my picture in here. It's good lighting, just have a look at it there. So yeah, performance poetry. I've been listed down as quite a few things. I feel quite talented when I look at that actually.
Yeah, we've embellished a few things.
We'll see how it goes. The schoolboy's love poem says, unobtainable mistress. I want you, like a junkie wants his next fix, like a mosquito wants the light, like Bush wants to control the world, like Michael Jackson wants a 10-year-old schoolboy, completely and fully throwing caution to the wind as I am gripped by lust and enthusiasm. I want you so bad it hurts, like the pain of 1,000 sailors ramming up my backside, like the thought of my mother and father actually having sex, like the indefatigable ice cream headache brought on by the coldness you show me. Okay, so I started writing poems when I was, a teenager, I suppose. I grew up in a family where we never really talked about emotions or anything else like that. So it became a kind of way to, I suppose, express myself. I suppose the book of poems was like my counsellor, and where I would hide away in my room, write a poem and try and get out the feelings I couldn't actually say. So I did a book of poems of like several hundred, and I thought what I'd do is maybe take a little collection from them as we go along. The book of poems is called Diary of a Poet, as it kind of fit, and that was my little diary. So I thought I'd take a collection as we build up to a couple of years ago. So here's one. As the fly in my room did what it's called. As the fly in my room did what it was called, and my mother and father shouted and bawled, I lay in my bed and floated away in my head. I floated to a land far away, where night was light and dark was day, where everything was different in every way, and there for a while I would stay. The fly landed, and without a thought, I swung and hit it. It was dead, and I was home again. Through the dark streets with the noisy lights, I was walking home last night. Then all of a sudden, I just stopped walking. I don't know why. I didn't have a reason. Then I lay down. Well, then I sat down, I should say. I don't know why. I didn't have a reason. Then I lay down. I don't know why. I didn't have a reason. Then I closed my eyes. I don't know why. I didn't have a reason. Then I thought I better get up and go home. I don't know why. I didn't have a reason. So eventually I get up and I leave home and go away to Holland, try and make a life there. My intention was to travel around the world, try and escape my past by looking to the future. The first place I arrived, I met a girl on the first night and ended up staying there for a year and a half in this tiny little town. I moved from one tiny little town to another tiny little town. But my first night there, I was sitting in this bed sit after doing a crappy day's work, and I wrote this poem. My modern day life is rubbish. So am I too young to die, or just too young to realise why? Suddenly I don't only feel alone, but I am alone, thrown into a world I do not understand. I am the fumbling fool in this new land. Many thoughts that I ponder while drinking a bottle of gin. I fought a battle with it when I would not win. I wanted a bliss worthy of the cost. With the last glass my thoughts were lost. Oh, come see my greatness on this day. For I am a god that shall never die. I scream out loud, I do not lie! Then I begin to cry. And here's the last of my miserable ones like that. You can't compare my misery to a rainy day, for my pain runs deeper than a river Tay. I see no reason why you should pray, for there are no words that you could say that could take my loss away. The sobering loss of another, one held dear, loved like a brother. I feel it's part of me that's been lost to the world, but at what cost? To my friends I cannot talk, isolated in the world as I walk, and now I'm unbearably all alone, because I've lost my mobile phone. So, there were several love poems that went in between me and my girlfriend, getting very close together, but I'll skip you through in the scenario until we're getting to the good bits, you could say, which are the miserable bits. No one wants to see a happy couple walking down the street. You want to see the bus hit them. So I'll take you to that step in a bit. Now, this is as a lot of things are going tits up. The saddle on my bike. The saddle on my bike was hard and uncomfortable. The back brake seemed to have a constant pressure I couldn't fix. It made it hard to pedal. The front light worked, but it would never shine bright enough, no matter how fast I travelled. The girl I love lived in the Netherlands. I lost my job. I now stay in her house like a lost puppy, a Scottish bomb, a hindrance to this beautiful Dutch family. She moved to Utrecht in January. In 2 weeks I go back to Scotland for Christmas with my family. I will not return. She loves me, but she didn't fall in love with a puppy. My agent in Holland took a serious disliking to me. Instead of getting me jobs, which he was supposed to do, he actually tried to get me fired. When I phoned him, he actually was my best friend. Maurice, you bastard. This all seems normal to me. Poetic justice fit for a poet. Part and parcel with the post. I came back to Scotland for Christmas. I'm back in Scotland now, away from the heart I left behind, the love I managed to find. Cast am I from the light, dark again as the night. Since I've been back, I became very depressive, very self-doubting, very much myself. The whole idea of Christmas makes me sick, and that's before I begin to stuff my face, plates of mince pies, potatoes and lies, turkey tears coming out of my eyes. It's cold, wet and windy. The rain hits off my face. In this land I've lost my place. The rain that once washed away my tears now smudges with my fears. On this fine religious day that's been commercialised, dramatised, sensationalised, displayed for all to see the shame of a near secular society worshipping a Christmas tree. So I did go back to Holland. Got a little crappy job there. I couldn't get work back in the same industry I was in, because my industry was meant to move. I was a construction worker and I'm meant to travel and go to the work doesn't come to me. So I tried to go to the work or find any job. We now live in Utrecht. We have a small room in the outskirts of the city, in an old student building on an 11th floor, room 1117. During the day, Kim goes to work, to study, to learn. At night, she comes back to me to cook, to clean, to eat, have sex, make love, to fuck. They are different. To fall asleep in each other's arms, and many other exciting things that one can do in a small apartment. The apartment itself is a palace of the imagination. In total, it consists of a room with a toilet and a shower that you can do a shit and wash your feet at the same time. A small kitchen that's difficult to use, and a 4-metre square room that consists of all other rooms in one. She thinks it's a bit small, but okay. A nice cheap place to stay for a while. I love it. I love to sit at my big table and look out the window and stare down the 11th floors to the outside world and the street below.